What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So you guys have questions, and hopefully I have answers. So we're going to talk a little bit about what's in the comment section today. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video. And if you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to the channel. Okay, so let's take a look at this comment. And this is coming from Randy. And Randy writes, and he's talking about the Social Security Fairness Act. He's talking about WEB and GPO. So Randy writes, when you talk about the cost, you should include how much money has been saved over the last 40 years by us being penalized. And so he's talking about people who earn a pension being penalized. This amount would be much greater than any cost, and in fact, has extended the time that Social Security will run short. So basically, it's extended the trust funds. Let's tell the whole story. And Randy, you are correct. When we're looking at WEB and GPO, and just to give you a quick overview of what's going on here, so if you're watching for the very, very first time, you don't know about the Social Security Fairness Act, you don't know what WEB or GPO is, and we'll talk about WEB right now. When it comes to WEB, let's say you work in a job. My scenario, I worked a job for 21 years. I paid only into a pension. I did not pay into Social Security at all. And now I retired when I was 50, and I'm working another job, and I'm paying into Social Security. But guess what? When I reach 62 or 67, whatever age that I decide to retire, which in my situation is going to be 67, hopefully, if they don't raise the full retirement age up, but let's say I retire at 67, now the Social Security benefits that I'll be receiving, it's going to be at a reduced amount. And it will be at a reduced amount because I'm receiving a pension. And so what Randy is saying is, over this whole 40-year span, people that have qualified, they paid into a pension, they qualify for Social Security benefits, but they're getting those benefits at a reduced rate, they're not getting the full Social Security benefits that they would normally get if they didn't have a pension. And so the Social Security Trust Fund is able to keep some of that money. And that money helps prolong the trust fund. So it helps the trust fund last longer. Right now they're saying it has about 9 years left, and that's it. Now, if they eliminate this, if the Social Security Fairness Act passes and they eliminate WEB and GPO, that will expedite the trust fund, but only by about 6 months. And that's coming from the Congressional Budget Office, okay, CBO. They've put their score out, and they're letting us know that it would expedite it by about 6 months, which honestly is not that much when you look at the big scheme of things. Social Security is going to need to be reformed anyway. They're going to have to bring in more revenue anyway in order to prolong the program. If they don't, then we're going to see a cut across the board of about 23%. Those are the facts. That information is already out. And this is an automatic cut. So it would be a situation where, let's say we're 9 years down the road, Congress hasn't done anything about Social Security, and the trust fund is complete. The trust fund is showing zero. If the trust fund is showing zero, then that next check that people receive, their Social Security benefits, everyone receiving Social Security benefits is going to see a cut in their check, and it's going to be about 23%. And so that's the facts. That's what's going to happen. Now, when it comes to GPO, just to go over that really quickly, let's say, and I always use a teacher, so let's say you're a teacher, you're working, you could be a teacher, firefighter, anyone who's earning a pension. You're working, you're married, your spouse is paying into Social Security, and you would qualify, when they retire, you would qualify for spousal benefits, or if you outlive them, you will qualify for survivor benefits. But guess what? If you're earning a pension, you will get spousal benefits or survivor benefits at a reduced rate because you're earning that pension. And so that's how that would work. And so that's more money that the trust fund is able to keep because of GPO. And so when it comes down to it, Randy is absolutely correct. Over the last 40 years, that's what they should do a calculation on. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. How much money has the trust fund been able to keep as a result of WEB and GPO being in place? That should be something how many years did that extend the program? That's something that I would want to know. So if you guys find that out, put it in the comments. I'll do a video on it in the future. And so I just wanted to address that statement. And yes, Randy, that is very, very true. And it's something that we do need to kind of look at that angle, because right now, the angle that we're seeing is, well, it's not fair. People earning a pension, they have more money, and so they don't need Social Security and all this stuff. We're talking about firefighters. We're talking about teachers, people who work for state and local government. You're not making a killing. I work for local government. You don't make a killing doing those jobs. And a lot of the stuff that you're doing is not very glamorous either. And you're not getting these big bonuses and all this stuff. So you're not going to get wealthy working in these jobs. And so when you retire, yes, Social Security will help when you retire. It's not like you're a multimillionaire where you don't even need Social Security at all because you already have a retirement plan set up. And so Social Security is really not going to have an impact on you. But if you are earning a pension and you're getting Social Security, trust me, you're going to be you're probably still going to be struggling in a situation like that, especially depending on where you're living. If you're living in California or one of these larger cities, it's probably going to be pretty hard for you, especially if you haven't paid off a house yet. If you haven't paid your house off, you're still paying a mortgage, or let's say you're renting, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough. Okay, let's go over another comment, and this is a question. This is coming from Jose, and he says, how can they reduce your pension? Is this legal? Okay, so he's referring to the Social Security Fairness Act, the elimination of WEB and GPO. We've been talking a lot about this, and they can't reduce your pension, but they can use your pension in situations. Let's use both WEB and GPO will qualify for this, but when it comes to WEB and GPO, depending on, let's say, if WEB, we'll use WEB as an example. Let's say I'm working in a job and I'm only earning a pension, and I'm only paying into a pension, so I'm not paying into Social Security at all. So I worked that job for 21 years. This is my story. I worked the job for 21 years. I retire from that job. I'm still young. At the time that I retired, I was 50 years old. So I have another 17 years before I reach 67, the age where I can hopefully collect Social Security benefits if they don't bump up the full retirement age. So I have 17 more years that I'm going to want to work. And so I work another 17 years. I pay into Social Security that 17 years. And then when it comes time for me to retire, now I'm going to get a reduced amount of Social Security benefits. They're not going to take anything away from my pension, but they will use my pension, the amount that I'm receiving in my pension, to calculate how much Social Security benefits I'm going to be receiving. And the whole reason for this is they don't want you to have a windfall. They don't want you to have a nice big pension coming in and then have a nice big Social Security benefit coming in, which, let's be honest, when the people that we're talking about here, we're talking about police officers, firefighters, teachers, people who work for state and local government. You're not going to be a millionaire firefighter or a millionaire police officer. I don't know any of them, and I have a lot of friends that I've worked with over the years that are police officers, firefighters, teachers. I have family members that are teachers. You're not going to get wealthy in these jobs. And so it's really, it's one of those things where I'm thinking, okay, you do have wealthy people who get away with that without having to pay into the payroll tax. Once you get over $168,600, you no longer have to pay into the payroll tax. Most police officers, firefighters, teachers, they're not making $168,000 or more. They're just not. And so you have wealthy people that get away without having to pay FICA. But when it comes to the average person, the average state employee that's earning a pension, we're going to go after them. They're going to get we're going to reduce their Social Security benefits because they have this big pension, this big windfall. And so that they can't take your pension, but they can impact your Social Security benefits that's coming to you, that's rightfully should be coming to you. And another situation here is, let's say, GPO, the government pension offset. Let's say you're a teacher, you work for 30 years, you're earning a pension, you're paying into a pension, you're not paying into Social Security at all, but you're married and your spouse is paying into Social Security. The agreement is that you're paying into Social Security. When you get to the age where you retire, your spouse is eligible to have some of your Social Security benefits, and it usually comes to about half of what your Social Security benefits are. Now, in this scenario, if you're a teacher and you work 30 years and you earn a pension, guess what? You're probably not going to qualify for much when it comes to spousal benefits or survivor benefits. And that's because of GPO. they will reduce the amount of Social Security benefits that you can receive. They're not going to touch your pension. Your pension's your pension. You're going to be able to keep that, but they'll use your pension as a guideline. It's like 2/3 of your pension amount. They're going to reduce that from your Social Security benefits. And so that's how that works. And so right now we have WEB and GPO. It's in place. What the Social Security Fairness Act wants to do is they want to eliminate WEB and GPO. So get rid of it. And what that will mean is teachers, firefighters, police officers, other state and local employees that qualify under this whole WEB and GPO, if they eliminate it, now they're going to be receiving pretty much their fair share. They're going to receive their amount. It's not going to be reduced the way it is right now. And so that's why it's important for a lot of state and local employees. They should be paying attention. If you're retired right now, you definitely should be paying attention. And if you're working right now, you should also be paying attention, because I wasn't paying attention when I was working. I had no idea what WEB and GPO was. I didn't find out until I retired. And then when I started a business and I started contributing to Social Security, then I started to realize, okay, wait a minute. I'm contributing to Social Security, and as a business owner, I'm paying twice, so it's 12.4% coming from me going to Social Security, and I'm going to get a reduced amount on the other end at 67? I mean, that's the way it is. And so you should be paying attention. And I'm telling you, if you're working right now, if you're watching this video and you're retired and you fall under WEB and GPO, yes, you're probably tuning in because of that. But there are a lot of people out there right now that are working, and I was one of them that were working, and they're not really paying attention to retirement. They could care less. They don't know anything about Social Security and WEB and GPO and all this stuff. Share this video with them so they understand, look, if you're contributing only to a pension and you're working another job on the side, you have a lot of teachers that do this. They have a lot of free time. I won't say a lot, but they have summers off. They can spend that summer working and doing different jobs and things like that. Same thing with firefighters. They have time off, days off. They can be doing side jobs, Uber, all this different stuff. When I was working in law enforcement, I worked 4/10s. And so you have 3 days off every week, so you have more time that you can do things and work in different jobs and earn credits towards Social Security. So you need to know what's going on when it comes to this. So I just wanted to answer that question. If you guys have more questions, make sure you put it in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.